All right, I'm sitting down. Sitting down. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Better Than Food Book Reviews. I am your host, Clifford Lee Sargent. Okay, the mob has spoken. No more of that. It was just a white wall, and I just stood up and put on a suit. That's it. So that's fine. Doesn't hurt to try new things, but sometimes they don't work. I don't know what time it is, but it's a good time to be drinking mezcal. Because today, I am reviewing Malcolm fucking Lowry's Under the Volcano. Man. Get the drink in the shot. It should be Dia de los Muertos, but, you know, I always like reading this book in hot weather, so it's almost summer and I figure it's a perfect time to get started early. Then by the time Dia de los Muertos gets here, you can reminisce on how awesome a fucking novel this book is. This is a phenomenal piece of fiction by one of the most interesting authors of the 20th century, who has an incredibly interesting position and disposition among the canon, so to speak. Lowry was a raging alcoholic. I mean bad. I mean Dylan Thomas bad. Bad. Started drinking at 14 and then died by a mixture of alcohol and sleeping pills. Some say it was a suicide. Don't know. But anyways, his entire life he was a raging alcoholic. And alcohol is a massive component in the narrative of Under the Volcano. The title comes from the position of this particular town in Mexico, which is located next to two very large volcanoes. Popocatépetl and Ixchiltepetl. Our protagonist, Jeffrey Fairman, is on the edge of death. He's just referred to as the Council, which is essentially his position, we're told, in this town, Cuanahac. So on November 2nd, Dia de los Muertos, 1938, we find him in Cuanahac, in a serious fit of alcoholic self-destruction. This is a man who is so drunk that he literally cannot put his socks on. He's literally whispering "I love you" to his bottle of Johnny Walker in bed. Considering all the books that I've read, alcoholism has never been so exhaustingly realized. Also in the film adaptation where Albert Finney gives the greatest performance as a true alcoholic that I have ever seen put to screen. Hands down, the shakes, the 1,000-yard stare, the half-eaten phrases and hiccups, weird, nuanced, exaggerated motions, the sweats and the odd laughter. It's all there, and it's done to a T, and it's particularly horrifying. So most of the novel takes place on this particular day, when in his drunken stupor, the Council's wife, who left him, returns to him, desperate and spiritually broken, yearning to rekindle their dead marriage. Coming along for the ride is the Council's half-brother, Hugh, and weaved into kind of the delirium of the narrative, there's this assumed affair that happened, or this implied affair that happened between the Council's wife and his half-brother, Hugh. So on this particular day, in this particular place, we're given insight to a bizarre amount of circumstances that seem to excavate the latent tension within this completely destroyed relationship. Plenty of allegorical, religious, and literary references, Shakespeare, Christopher Marlowe, Baudelaire. It's all there. And it's clever, brilliant, sad, and beautiful. The hot country with all the stories of war and corruption, disease, alcohol, and shady characters provides a thick, syrupy atmosphere that's really difficult to just kind of wash off. So Lowry published only 2 novels while he was alive. His first was not a success. His second is the reason I'm talking about him today. He's an astounding anomaly. His only well-known novel is considered among major publications to be one of the greatest of the 20th century. And this was all accomplished by a man who was basically on the brink of like Richard Burton-style self-destruction. How, unless you drink as I do, could you hope to understand the beauty of an old Indian woman playing dominoes with a chicken? And some great scene in the book. All of these things in this Mexican town filtered through the eyes of a raging alcoholic on one of the strangest holidays. Yeah, there's no other book like this one. This one's off on its own territory. No se puede vivir sin amar. So if any of you guys are fans of Jeffrey Lee Pierce or The Gun Club from the early 80s, I love reading about that time, and this book was definitely circling around Pierce and Nick Cave in Los Angeles in the mid-80s probably, and it was sort of a big influence, and you can kind of tell from the music they were making at that time, which is awesome, you know. So I can't really read Under the Volcano without thinking about, you know, long highways and open vistas and like shitty tropical themed motels and alcohol and a cornucopia of vice and excess laid at one's feet, fear and loathing style. It's all sort of blended in there, so I'm glad to have discovered it. So recommended listening while reading Under the Volcano, definitely Fire of Love or Miami by the Gun Club. Recommended viewing, again, the John Huston adaptation of the same name, Under the Volcano. Recommended drinking, Fidencio Mezcal. Pricey, but definitely worth it. Good stuff. Great investment. And finally, I'm not sure if it's true, but it's rumored that Lowry actually wrote his own epitaph, which unfortunately does not appear on his gravestone, from what I'm told. But it goes a little something like this. Here lies Mezcal. Here lies Malcolm Lowry, late of the Bowery, whose prose was flowery and often glowery. He lived nightly and drank daily, and he died playing the ukulele. Alright, that's all I have for you guys today. Under the Volcano, hell of a book, nothing like it. Definitely pick this one up as soon as possible, get started on it, and then we'll all celebrate on Dia de los Muertos. We'll all have a drink for old Lowry. He was British, by the way. Doesn't matter that I completely forgot to... Did I say that? I can't even remember anymore. Yeah, he was a British author. It's totally appropriate that I'm getting drunk and saying that at the end of the review now. Always remember what John Waters said. If you go home with somebody and they don't have books, then don't fuck them. Cool. Y no se puede vivir sin amar. Sí. Anybody know anything about microphones out there? If you have a recommendation for an easy use, nice microphone for a Canon 5D Mark III, I mean, that's all I'm shooting on. Just something I can stick on top there. This onboard mic is atrocious, and I appreciate all of you guys putting up with it the entire time. But yeah, that's the only change I'm going to make. Nothing else. Nothing radical. Keep it casual. Thanks for giving me feedback. You guys are great. Thank you for all the recommendations. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. And please, if you possibly can, donate. Helps out a great deal. It will go towards my new microphone fund, so I can have better audio in this motherfucker. Gotta pick up all them husky tones. Is that it? I think that's it. Alright. Have a great day, guys. Talk to you soon.